It is all too often said that there are no miracles performed these days. Therefore, I challenge this idea with my story of a car that ran a red light. Welcome to Miracles in the 21st Century. I'm Dr. John Ashton. Back in the early 1970s, I was a research fellow at the University of Tasmania and the tutor for the first year med students. And one evening a week I ran a little Bible study group with some of the students. We went through and read passages in the Bible and discussed what their significance was and so forth. And I remember returning back to where I was living in a flat some suburbs away from the university and driving down into the main centre of Hobart. It was a rainy night and I was coming down the hill and I was driving at the time. I drove a 1956 Chevrolet car, fairly big car, and as I was coming along the road, I was strongly impressed to slow down. And I felt that God was impressing me to slow down. It was a rainy night, poor visibility with drizzle rain, and I sort of, in a way, argued with God, and I thought, well, I'm under the speed limit of, 60 kilometres an hour. I'm under the speed limit. But I saw ahead that I had a green light. And so I was trying to get a balance. So I slowed down a little bit, but I wanted to make that green light at the intersection with Sandy Bay Road. And just as I got to that intersection, a car came through on my right, and I actually hit the car in the side with my front bumper bar. Bent the bumper bar up on my car. I spun the other car. It was a blue Datsun Bluebird sports car, and I spun the car around. It did a 360 spin, but then continued on its journey and drove off. And I pulled over to examine the damage on my car. My car was still drivable. My front bumper was sort of bent up and the mudguard pushed in a little bit. There was a phone booth nearby, and I rang the police and they said, we're already looking for the car. And it turned out a person working in the office building on the corner had heard the bang and had got the number plate of the Datsun car and had reported it to the police. But as I thought about that, if I hadn't have slowed down that little bit, I would have been T-boned. The driver would have come through at speed and just slammed into the side of my door. But if I had listened to God fully slowed down and not worried about catching the green light, I probably wouldn't have damaged my car. And it reminded me at times that God does warn us, that God speaks to us. And I'm reminded we need to listen to God at these times. I'm Dr. John Ashton. Have a great day.